my praise worship, empty words I can't afford. I'm not chasing feelings, that's not why I'm singing. You're the reason for my song. Come on, let's shout it out together. If I sing with everything, if I sing for you, my King, oh, I can't imagine why I would do this all for high, 'cause it's all to lift you high. We love you, Jesus. You don't want perfection, just my soul's attention. All I have is what I'll give. More than a song that lasts a moment, I'll live a life of honest worship. If I'm in a sing, then I'll sing with purpose. All the praise, Lord, you deserve it. I only want to sing. If I sing with everything, if I sing for you, my King, oh, I can't imagine why I would do this all for high, 'cause this all to lift you high. Whoa. Let me see those hands in the air. Can I see somebody move in this place? Let me see you jump, jump. Hey, hey, hey. We feel your joy, Jesus. Come on, church, let's sing it out. Sing it. I only want to sing. If I sing with everything, if I sing for you, my King. Whoa. Let's make some noise for Jesus. So welcome to Crossroads Church. We're so glad that you decided to worship with us. And if you're online, I pray that you are getting an amazing experience of worship wherever you are. Let's continue and sing to the Lord. Yes, I am. So this part declares that we are chosen and that God has purposed something within us, sometimes beyond what we can see. So let's declare that and ask for the Spirit to reveal those things, the things that God calls who we are. I am chosen, not forsaken. Let me hear y'all sing it. And declare this over your life. Chosen, I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. Let's shout it out. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me.
On video, and I know what you're thinking already. Corbin, when you say that, you'll be talking forever. But I ain't, because we on video, and it's on Instagram, or this on YouTube, and I ain't got all day. But what I want to do is I want to talk to you from this subject of faith over fear. And so what I decided to do, you know how I am. I love having friends to come sit down that I can have this conversation with and ask them stuff back and forth. And you already know who I called. I called the man, the myth, the legend. He's tall and bald. No, he's not bald. It's Daniel Drewski. Wait, I know you didn't. I know you did not.
I had to keep the shot the same, man.
No.
If I sat on a tall chair, is this what your perspective is like normally?
Wait, cut the shot. No, I'm joking.
We're good.
Did you just do? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
All right, so what we've
Don't
been
be
doing.
afraid.
Woo, boy, you crazy. So listen, this is what I want to talk about, Daniel. Like with the coronavirus.
Yeah, man.
The Rona is what some people call it.
Is that what some people call it? The Rona?
Just me.
Okay. So the Rona.
The Rona. But this is very like a serious topic, and I don't want to joke too much about it because I do know people's lives have truly been affected by it.
Yeah.
And so one thing that we can respond in this way is through faith or fear. And so we've been talking about this subject with Crossroads students, and you was there for Bit Weekend, and even last week, where we began to talk about this word called influencer, that every student that's watching this, every adult or every volunteer or whoever watching this video, you have influence because of what God placed on the inside of you. But one thing I love about influencers is when tough times come. And you really get to see what the influencer is made of.
Oh, yeah.
And not just on the highlight reel, but like the backstage moments. Yeah. Like that's what really makes a influencer to me. Like when life squeezes you, like what comes out of you.
In those moments where you're most pressed, man, that's when what's truly inside you really comes out. And I know it's a weird analogy, but I think that's really true for us too. Is man, when we feel the pressure of what's life gonna be like tomorrow, right? Like I know my kids, man, they went to school today, and it was sitting at the dining room table and like watching a couple of videos, and like I mean the whole thing is different. And I think the phase of life that everybody's stepping into it's a first for everybody. It's a first for all of us. And I think, man, when we want to steward well the stewardship the influence that God has given us, we've got to look at that and go, okay, God, how do you want us to move forward, and how do you instruct us, right? And you know me, man, like in those moments in the text, right? When we look at the Bible and say, man, what are those moments where the disciples were pressed, or just the people of God were pressed because of the struggles, man? What did they do, and how were they mentored or coached or directed to act?
But I think one thing they chose was faith.
Yeah.
Like many times, like I keep saying this, but you have one or two choices. That when things get tough and things get bad, you can respond in one or two ways. You can either have faith or you can have fear. Because I know it's scary. Like, let's all be honest here. Like, we sitting here being honest with you because you know me, I'm very transparent. Like, I have a pregnant wife at home. Like, I have little babies at home, and I would be lying to you if I told you that the thoughts haven't crossed my mind, like, what is going to happen? Like, those thoughts come very frequently, but I have to grab myself to say, hey, no, I have to choose faith over fear. But Daniel, this is crazy. I was thinking about this story, like, growing up, like David and Goliath. Yeah, it's kind of like me and you right now. Like, you Goliath, I'm David. If you don't know the story, man, we've been looking at this story for years. Many of you, as you grow up, you have watched this story. It's from David, little guy, versus Goliath, big guy.
Big guy.
Like I was reading in 1 Samuel chapter 17, where the armor that he was wearing was like 126 pounds. Like it was like real heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Like you.
Like it really is like how much I weigh. That's bad. It's like he was wearing me. Like no, but it was like he was wearing that type of armor, and he went to the Israelites and was like, "Listen, I got beef. Who want to fight? Who want to fight? Like I got an issue with you. I'm ready to fight." And in 1 Samuel chapter 17, David and his brothers was the first responders to that, and the army like was first responders to that, and they chose fear.
Oh,
They
yeah.
didn't choose faith. Like they were scared. But then this little boy came, David. I think he looked just like me, and looked at Goliath and was like, "What's up, bruh? Like, you ready to fight? Because I'm ready to fight." You know what I'm saying? But he chose faith. Like, he was ready to fight in that very moment. So it just made me begin to think about how every time, when I look at throughout Scripture, when there was tough moments, there was this response of the people of God responding in one or two ways.
Yeah.
Faith or fear.
Well, and it's a remembrance that God doesn't give us a spirit of fear.
Yeah.
Right? And we see that. We're constantly reminded that when we respond in fear, it's not something that God is placing inside of us. And so, man, when we have those moments, we gotta take that thought captive. We gotta claim it and go, wait a minute. This isn't what God promised. God promised what? Our future, our hope.
Yeah.
Right? Prospering. It may not always look like what we want it to look like, and there are certainly stories where that kind of, man, from his perspective, from God's perspective, he's writing that narrative in ways that we can't always see in the moment. But we do know that when it comes to this just overwhelming anxiety or fear or hysteria even, like, no, man, that's not what God intended for us.
Yeah.
And so we can, just like the people that we read about, man, go, wait a minute, no, God, we're gonna choose faith in this moment and begin knowing those things that God promised us. Because if we don't know those things, we don't know what to have faith in.
Yeah.
And so we got to know those promises from God so that we can just claim those in the moments when our hearts are most just vulnerable and afraid.
Yeah, so look, check this out. I told you it's about 7-10 minutes. I ain't gonna be long. But I really want to wrap this up to you to let you understand this. It's okay to be scared.
Yeah.
Like it is. Like, but I don't want you to be paralyzed by fear. Yeah. There's something called fear, and then there's the spirit of fear. Fear is like you're afraid, and I get that. But the spirit of fear, it begins to govern the way you think, govern your attitude, govern the way that you move around and you interact with people. And I rebuke that spirit. Like I take that spirit away from you, and I say, take the spirit that God has given you. And that's peace, that's joy, that's love, and a sound mind. And that's what I want for you. So check this out. Listen, if you need to talk, I'm here. Your small group leaders are here. Yeah, like we are here to be that voice for you, to speak life into you when you're afraid. But in this moment, like I want you to begin to pray for your friends and your family. Like because everybody's trying to navigate this. But the very thing that we're going to choose faith over fear. So I love y'all. Listen, we got more of these videos coming to you. But I pray that y'all have a great rest of the week. Eat some chicken for me. Eat some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Eat some fruit snacks, some pizza, watch Frozen. Follow me on TikTok. Do all of those things. I love y'all, and we'll see y'all next week.